Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina, and I'm here to get a little scrappy with you. Okay, I am doing another one of our kits here for our May 2025 new launch of these kits. We got a lot of feedback. I talked with a lot of people. We got over 200 suggestions on, it's actually closer to 300 of different themes to do these quick kits in, and I'm just having the best time. All right, I am going to pop this kit. This is our Serendipity 1, and this is called our combo. You get two titles to personalize this. It says the most amazing Grandparents' Day memories and the most amazing Mother's Day memories. I'll be using this one for this Mother's Day coming up, as I will be with both of my two wonderful offspring and my newest son-in-law. Well, he's my only son-in-law, but my newest of my children, so that we have now. All right, what I want to do is I want to bring in some stamping on this kit. One thing that I love to do when I showcase these kits, they're great to put together just like they are, but I do like to share a little zhuzhing, right? So I know what my layout's going to look like because I have a print. Now you get a full picture of the actual layout in with your kit with some information and a QR code that will lead you right to the tutorial videos that we have done for those. So I'm really excited about that. But I also get this little picture here when they're all cut and packaged. And I'm going to be using this so that I kind of get an idea on where I might want to do some of my stamping. I'm using the same background stamp. I will keep the same background stamp out for sometimes maybe 2 weeks. And it really does help me with just continuing to kind of add some of that. It's really nice to have it handy. This is going to be my right side. Let's go ahead and work on the left side now. Oh, this textured background paper that's over here. I love it. I love it so much. All right, I'm going to want to get some texture right in here, some nice background stamping. There we go. And then I think maybe some down along here. And what I do is if I don't hit it where I really wanted it, I say, okay, well, maybe I wasn't supposed to have it. There we go. Or I grab it and I figure it out then. Can even do like a little piece, but I try to guess. Look at our gorgeous background paper. I don't know if it will pick up this canvas texture, but I love it. I love the canvas texture. It is solid core paper, which is my absolute favorite. I do like white core paper, but I feel like the only time I really want white core paper is when I'm doing a technique, and I do less techniques than I do more, so that require folding or sanding or any of that. So I just really love solid core paper that I can cut, get beautiful cuts, and this being canvas is just gorgeous. Let me flip this before I mess it up. Here we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my base pages down. We'll do this one while I'm at it. I'm also going to add a little bit more background stamping when the time comes. Okay. Some finishing touches I'm going to add. I've pulled another stamp out of my stash, shopping my stash, always shopping my stash. Stamps are an investment. At some point, you just have to say, I don't need every single new stamp that comes out. I need to get something from the investment that I've made, and I think that is kind of where we are right now. All right. Those are on there. I love this. This is, I've already worked with a version of this layout. I try to use my sketches multiple times because they're so awesome. I often like to have them in multiple of my books as well. But all of the pieces that you see here are included in your kit. Creating these double layer flowers. Why don't we go ahead and we start with that? So you have multiple pieces. Your little flower centers will be in a bag, little tiny bag in your kit. You have this printed, and if you like this just the way it is, you can use it. But just in case, if you want to add a little bit more, there is these overlay flowers that you put in, and then you do the matching paper for the center that does the honeycombs. This is a little flower, and I'm just going to offset that so that when I put it on, the petals are not directly over the other flower. Little bit of glue. Grab our flower center, pop that on. Now I already did 2 of these. I did them all the same way. There's 3 in the kit. There you go. I'm going to grab my honeycomb and my bees, and all my bees have foam tape on them already. I'm going to put those aside as well. Just try to keep all my pieces in the same way as I'm digging down to get to my 2 pattern hexagon or honeycomb, depending on how you like to call it. I love this. So as I'm working with kits, what I really like to do is just change something up. I like to just change a little something up with each one, each sketch, add something, just do a little bit more. I really enjoy that. So ideally, we just want to line these up evenly across at the 6. I'm going to go ahead and put it down with the floral on the top and the plaid on the bottom, but I have to show you this. You can flip it over and do the green if you'd like. And you could have this, or you could flip it over and you could do this. These are 2-sided papers, so you get to be as creative as you like. All right. Get both of these done with some adhesive, and we will be ready to go. Now, once again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to line this kind of, I'm going to eyeball it from side to side, and then I'm going to use my grid to just try to keep it as close as I can to the 6 mark. So eyeballing it and at the 6. These are forgiving. It looks like that background stamping worked out well for me. There we go. All right, and then you're going to have a 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece. I'm going to keep adhesive away from the outer rim. I like to tuck paper, something that I'm familiar with. Lining this up, just kind of centering it. I love that this is also canvas, and I mean, it all comes together. This looks really nice. I feel like I'm a little bit crooked there. Hold on for just a second. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to bring in some other pieces that go with this kit. These pretty butterflies, which I think add a little something, and we have that. And then this here is for your journaling. I've been working with a lot of journaling strips for a really long time, and I've gone back and I've looked at my scrapbooking. I'm going to put this a little over to the right because I have a little cluster that I'm going to be putting here, and this will be just enough. But I went back and I had been looking at a good bit of my scrapbooking, and what I definitely noticed was journaling strips everywhere, and I thought I want to change that up a little bit. I always want to push myself and do a little bit more. I'm gonna tilt this one up this way, just a little bit on an angle, and then bring the butterflies in and kind of tuck them a little bit lower on that angle. All right, I love that, the layered paper there. Now I have some honeycombs that I will probably be sliding under this or cutting. And on this side, I'm going to do them on top, but I'm just going to go ahead and let's see if I can find the ones I'm looking for. So yeah, I like to change up what I'm doing and just kind of bring a little bit more variety to my scrapbooking. So one of the things that I have done now is just said I'm always going to have journaling. I'm a scrapbooker. I need to tell my story. And no one remembers the stories like me, right? But I am doing my journaling. This is that yellow slash that's in there. And now I'm just adding a butterfly one right here. There we go. And so I am going to do my journaling, but as I do my journaling, I think I'm going to try it in different ways. Try it on different pieces of paper, just not doing those journaling strips every time, giving myself a little bit of a break with that. I'm doing the butterfly piece again, and I need to size this up because I want to make sure when I place this piece that it's placed so that this can kind of go here. I want to leave this open. So it's going to go right here. I'm going to just slightly lift that. And I can put my other piece in and it will line up nicely. Another thing that you could definitely do is outline the butterfly with the markers. I will have a new line. I'm preparing to go on vacation. Matter of fact, when this launches, I will be on vacation. But I have a new line of broad tip markers and colors coming in, and they will be made available on my website after the 19th. I'll try to get them on there the 19th, but that week there will be a variety of colors. I call these my broad tip like edging markers, but I've actually, these are some old ones from my stash. I wanted to show you this, how it will stand out a little bit more. It is going to make me go ahead and go back and grab this one though, just so you can see that. It really does add a little something, especially when you're doing white on white. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to outline a few of these. So since this has, I'm going to go as fast as I can, but I will have these in different colors. Black is always, you know, the number one, but now that I started pulling these old markers out of my stash, because I want to use them and be done with them. I want to use them. I want to say goodbye. I want to say thank you for your service, and I want to move on. I would like more projects done, more scrapbooking done, but less stuff hanging around my scrapbooking room. I feel like there is a lot of stuff, and I have a lot more because I vend at events, and I carry a product line, and I do all of that stuff, but I still only have a limited amount of space. I'm doing the plaid and the butterfly. I still only have a limited amount of space, and you know, I want to be mindful of that, and I don't want to have for the sake of having, if that makes any sense. Now, I'm so happy this piece is already down, because knowing me, I would now have to go back and also line that piece. So gifts on that. All right, I'm going to put this one right back. I'm going to go this way with it. And it'll cover that little spot from when I yanked it off. Okay, and now I can add a little bit of glue right here. I don't think any came out on that. You guys know I left this open since my last video, because that's my MO. Like, there are some things I just feel like I may never learn. I'm going to say this, and quality control at the right buffet. Those are real struggles. If you're a struggler with me on that, you just let me know. All right, here we go. Let's straighten this out just a little bit. And I'm going to say that I'm looking at the 6, and then I'm going to the right of the 6. Like, it's probably at 6 1/4 up here is where the edge of that one is. I'm going to go ahead and layer some of these pieces in. And I think I'm going to put an orange piece on this side as well. So I'm going to tuck that right up under here. And you know what? If you put it down and you're like, oh, no, I don't have enough, just chop it off. It doesn't matter what it looks like underneath. It only matters what it looks like on the top. It can be a hot mess under there. There we go. So that layer in there really nicely. Okay, we'll put a blue here. Let's do a butterfly. And I like the flower. Trying to see, make sure that I have really good options. Let's do an orange there. And we will do a green. I feel like I'm missing one. Did I count them? Oh, no, I have plenty. Okay. And you'll have a variety of these, so it'll be nice. I think I'm going to move the orange up. I like this. I actually have this extra one that I'm probably going to put in there. Okay, this here. I think I'm going to be pretty okay with this. They're going to turn, but whoa, I don't want to take them out of order. Okay, they're going to turn a little bit, but now I can go ahead and put these down. I'm going edge to edge with the first one. Small gap with this one. I come in with the green next. It's going to fit right inside there. Great. And let's lay in an orange one, covering up a lot of my stamping, and I'm not sure I want to do all that stamping covered up there. This might be enough for me. Let's put this one on too. We have some photo mats that are going to come over this, and I'm going to hang on to this one. I really like that blue though, but I have one over here. Okay, making sure that one's down. There we go. I love it. All right, so there are 4 photo mats that hold 4x3 photos. And the butterfly. Now, I really love the butterfly. The question is to edge or not to edge. And because I did start edging on the butterfly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to marker edge that as well. You can ink if that's what you normally do, but I love the marker edging. You can see how fast it is. I'm able to get right through. It's a very thin, I would say it's like a sleek look, right? It's super thin. So if you like a thicker look, you're probably going to prefer to keep inking. I have really enjoyed my marker edging and I tend to grab it. And now I kind of ink more when I'm doing outdoor stuff or vintage. That tends to work better for me at this point. All right, I'm laying these out. Just going to kind of go every other one. I want to bring this down here. I have a weird little mark on that one. There we go. A little bit lower. And I will get you a measurement, and they're going to go all the way against the edge, actually. Okay. Stamping looks good. Now, if I put this here, I'm going to lose that stamping, but I kind of like the idea of having that. So this is where I said I would just come in and add a little bit more. So I'm just going to, I did about half of my stamp, and it's got a funky little mark at the top. So I'm just going to add a couple more just like this. There we go. All right, and now I can add this piece here. And that will work. Pop that right in there. I'm covering up almost the entire orange piece, but not fully. I just want to make sure that when I lay that down, I'm just holding this one in place and I'm placing the pink one right there. Okay, and I will put this on and get you a measurement here to tell you how far I am up from bottom. All right, so the bottom is at 2 1/4. So I'm 2 1/4 up from the full bottom. All right, put these on, leaving just a little bit of a gap, and they're all the way to the right of that white piece. All right, there we go. I do like the layering on this. Now I've already done my title, and what I've done is I have put the most amazing Mother's Day memories. That portion is on foam tape. So if you are doing the most amazing Grandparents' Day memories, you can do that as well. And you'll see that that one fits as well beautifully across. You got plenty of room where you want to put it. I'm wondering about, oh, I will have some, I'll have a little bit behind that. So I think I'm going to go a little further. Depending on which title you're using will be how it fits in. I really am enjoying doing the backgrounds with the stamping. All right, I put that one in first, and I was going to take it out because I feel like if I put it here, I would actually see it. You know, you can always cut these in half too if you only need a half. I'm going to go this way with it. Originally, I didn't want them to come over that far, but now I really like all the color variations. Okay, no adhesive right there because I'm going to bring this hanging over my photo. It's going to go back this way a little bit. And there we go. Oh, I like it. Okay, so now let's talk about all the decorative pieces we got. We're going to do these 3 little clusters. I'm just going to use my liquid glue. You can do the butterfly side if you want, but I am going to bring in some bees because we know that flowers bring the bumblebees. All right, right here. I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the 2 solid hexagon spots. All right, one here, kind of coming down like this, I think would be nice. And one, of course, here. I have a feeling I'm going to have to flip Hopefully that pulled it up. Flip my glue tip over and go give it a nice cleaning. All right. And then this one, I'll rotate that just a little bit. And it's going to go right there. So these are a little bit closer. There we go. And now we have those flowers that we made and these little bees. Look at these bees. They're so cute. They're on foam tape. I have a bee for each one. We're building the same kind of 3 collages. So each one's going to take the same pieces. All right, there we go. We'll start with this one. And I think for this one, I'll put the leaf up. I may have to just go with regular. Let's just see what we got going on in here. All right, I may or may not have gotten that. All right, I'm going to do this one with the leaves. I think I'm going to go up like this. There we go. I don't want to cover that whole honeycomb, so I think that will look really cute. For this one over here, I think I'll just do the leaves at a different angle. A little bit of glue. And since I'm going to have the bee on the bottom over here, I think I'll probably put the bee on the top over here. And just making sure I have some of that sticking out. And for the final one, I think we'll go this way. That way, each one's different. I'm going to bring this one down just a little bit, and I'm going to put the bee like this, I think. Kind of like the bee this way now that I'm looking at it. And this has no glue on it, so I'll be able to slide my picture. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. That was a lot on my picture. Let's twist it just a little bit. Oh, I like it this way now. Okay, hold on. As soon as I turn it, that's the fun in having your own embellishments. You can really do a lot with them. All right, there we go. I like that. I do have to decide where my bee is going to go. All right, we'll go ahead and put this bee on. These are all on foam tape, as I mentioned earlier. All right, foam tape that I am destashing. I'm actively getting rid of items in my stash. Okay. I'm going to go right here with this one. I don't remember where I put them on the first layout because I'm, 10 layouts past that one. So, but I remember it was a really cute one. I think this one, we're going to go here. See more of that honeycomb there. And I like this one, the way it's facing. So we'll go ahead and do that. Super cute. I love it. Okay, and as I mentioned, you could always switch out that title, but let's go ahead and take a look at the bling I've pulled from my stash, multiple bling. Originally, I had thought that I was going to bring in more green. I was going to do green apple and jade and do all my background stamping, bringing in more green. I thought the depths of the green would be really pretty, but then as I laid it all out, I went with pink. So I grabbed some pink bling here, and I have some that I would like to use up, and I have a few hearts in there, so I'll probably maybe do a little bit of that. This here, I have multiple blues in here, and I have multiple blues in here, and I really just want to get rid of this. This is left over from a pack that I had. It was a winter paper collection, I believe, with Echo Park. So I think I'm going to mix all of these, and that is always the fun to be had. In addition to that, I have my Rosie stamp pad, and I have an ink blot, and I have my green apple stamp pad, and I have one more stamp that I grabbed. I shopped my stash, and see this cute little flower that's right there? I had been using a small heart, and I decided it was time for me to put that one away because I had it for a little bit. And I said, you know what I could use? The little flower on this. I love to grab, shop my stamps and grab things like that. I am going to place my flowers first, and I'm going to start with just one right down here. And this is going to be bright and bold. Maybe right here. There we go. Bright and bold. I think it actually wants two. Okay, over here. I'm turning it a little bit, just like that, and then turning it back the other way. I like that a lot. I'm going to do 2 up here, even though that's not by my cluster. It's close enough. All right, and I like all of that. Okay, those are my added flowers. Now to add a little bit of this green apple. I'm going to do my first green apple right down here. It's just a little splat, so I can see how much of that I'm going to be adding. And then I'm going to allow myself to kind of put it wherever I would like, not worry about getting it perfect. This is splatter, so you don't want it to be perfect. I'm going to add a little bit right up there. All things are looking good. Okay, now I don't want to forget this little spot. I think this deserves a little bit of the splatter as well, but I'm not going to add any flowers there. I think I like that. This here is missing a little something for me, and I don't think the green apple is going to give it to me. I think what I'm looking for is a little bit of that pink. So I'm just going to go to my background stamps. And this one's a little fuller. I think I may have buried this stamp. This stamp does not need to get put away for a couple weeks. I won't be here. Here we go. I just put my case up top. I'm going to see if I can find a little bit of a different one, just a different shape. And I think I'm going to use this one right here. It needs a little bit of that pink to kind of come down and make that whole side blend together for me. So you should never, by the way, do your ink work over your layout. All right, I'm going to dab it, and then I'm just going to wipe a little bit off and turn my stamp. There we go. I like that a lot more. That did so much to fill that little area in and bring that kind of together. Now I'm not going to add any more green apple or anything. It just looked so bare on the other end of that I thought it needed a little something. All right, I'm going to start with my hearts now. I really love the background stamping. I love all the things. All right, adding my hearts. All the hearts I want. I am destashing my bling, so I'm not trying to hang on to it in any way. I'm going to start with these teeny tiny hearts, and I have 2 of these little hearts. I'm also looking at what I have here. This is my final of my pink bling, and I just want to kind of take a look at where I might like to add those. I feel like I would like a bigger one up here, so I'm going to add one here, and then I'm going to go to the medium. And I'm going to add one here just like this. I'm going to kind of scatter my bling, and I'm going to do these in 2s. All right, I have another big one right here. I can only do 2 of them. I have 2 sets. That's what I have. So I try to use them up proportionally. And I think right here would be a cute spot to add those and do the reverse. So I'm doing the big one up high, and then, or the big one down low, and then the little one up high. There we go. So 2 on each page, and I like that. And now I'm going to bring in this bling. Now I'm not going to use the gray, but I'm going to try to use up the blues. All right, so let's get busy. This is a large blue. I'm going to do the large blue. It stuck to me. There we go. The large blue right there. And then I'm going to use the blue. I have this one teeny tiny, I don't know why I didn't just use it. I'm going to do the large blue and a darker blue, the medium of the lighter blue, and then a light white. And I'm going to put those right in this area over here, kind of spread those apart. They almost look like more splatter. And then up here by my flowers, I'm probably going to add some, but I want to get these 2 clusters in. And I think the other one I am going to put right down here. So I'm just counting my bling out. All right, so for this one, we are going to do the large blue again, the medium white over here, and the small blue right up there, and just adding more. Now, so I have 3 here, I have 3 here, I have these flowers here and here. I'm going to now add to the flower ones. I'm going to do, this is the darker medium blue. right there. It's going to get a small of the lighter blue, and then a medium, another medium of the white. There we go. And it's just kind of like whatever I have left. So this one over here is going to get, I think this one might be getting a large blue, but I'm going to swap that back off. Medium white, because I have it right there. 2 smalls on these blue, and just popping those in. I have one dark and one light here. All right. I understand I have the gray, and I might keep it, but I really do want to finish with as much of this as possible. So I have this. I'm going to let this one go. It's a single, and putting a single color on my page I don't think would make me very happy. So I have a big one, and then I have 4 of this medium size. So if I divide these, I could do, you know, 2 of this and 2 of this or whatever. So I'm just going to take a look at what I have, and I kind of like what I'm having. But I do have these 3 little dots, and sometimes I like to put 3 little dots wherever I can. So I'm just looking to see if there's some place right there that I can tuck those 3 little dots to use the bling up. Use your band, use it, use it, use it, use it. Don't hoard it. Don't hang on to it. Get it on your projects, and then if you need more, you get more. All right. It's true. I have 3 teeny tiny little pieces of bling left on here, and I'm going to let them go. Sometimes you just have to. I love how this turned out. I will add this to my gray bling so that it can move on, and I do that often to combine my colors. Well, let's look at how she looks, and I think she is all the things. I'm really going to love putting my Mother's Day pictures this year on this. I will be on a cruise, and these are going to be for my overflow pictures, including one gorgeous picture of us all dressed up for dinner. And I think I'm really going to love that, even though I'm going on a cruise. All your paper does not always have to be cruise related on a cruise. I'll tell you, if that was the case, I would be burned up with cruise paper. So I do like to do some, but I have a book that I do for ship's life now. And then this will be nice. Now, I will need to do more than this, because not only are we having a special dinner, but my daughter and I are also going to see the musical Hairspray. So I can't wait to share the fun layouts with that. Just lots of dimension. I love the fonts. I love everything going on here. And I just think that it turned out so good. I hope you guys will grab some of those stamps from your stash and craft. And you know what I really love? I don't have any leftovers. I have nothing that's being put back in my craft room except for the stamps that I already paid for, and I love that so much. So I hope you guys will love all of the new kits that we're releasing. If you like this video, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out here in the YouTube community, and I'll also let you know all the fun things that we have planned, whether it's our kits or my regular scrapbooking that I have for my journey, and I share those new pages and new sketches as well. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed, crafty day. Bye-bye.